What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And Jurgen Klopp has dropped a massive bombshell in yesterday's embargoed press conference. He said that Liverpool are actively working to sign a midfielder and that he was wrong saying that Liverpool won't sign and don't need a midfielder. And I told you guys during the transfer window that if there is an injury crisis at Liverpool, then Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool won't be stubborn and will go into the transfer market, and that is the case. David Maddock wrote a very detailed article in the Mirror that you are seeing that basically 4 of Liverpool's midfielders are out injured and all of them are very injury prone, and I think the Naby Keita injury was the final nail in the coffin that we don't know how long Naby Keita will be out for. He has a muscle injury out of nowhere, and Jurgen Klopp said, I know we have had this discussion since it all started, and I am the one who said we don't need a midfielder, and you were all right and I was wrong. That's the situation. There is really nothing more to say about it. We are looking for a midfielder, and if it is the right player we need him, if it is not the right player we don't need him. And Liverpool have been linked with Frankie de Jong. There are reports coming in that Liverpool are actively working on bringing Frankie de Jong to Liverpool. How amazing would that be after Manchester United have been chasing Frankie de Jong all summer if Liverpool in the end managed to sign him. But we are linked with Brighton's Moises Caicedo, we are linked with Paris Saint-Germain's Paredes and a whole host of other midfielders, of course Jude Bellingham as well. So let me know in the comments below, who do you want Liverpool to sign? And of course, if you enjoy these transfer news updates, make sure to leave a like. And Jurgen Klopp said, I don't know if it will happen before Thursday, which is transfer deadline day. We will see. It needs to be the right player, but we are working and we will see if something will happen or not. As you can imagine, we are actually working constantly on these kind of things. And there are reasons why it is sometimes not happening. Sometimes the player is too expensive. Sometimes it's not the right player for our project. But then the situation changes. One thing stays important, and it's that it needs to be the right player. If we do something, it will be that we are 100% convinced about it. But if we are not convinced, that we won't do it. And Jurgen Klopp also confirmed that Curtis Jones will be back next week. Thiago and Diogo Jota will also be back in contention early in September, along with the defender Joel Matip. But no word on Konate, no word on Naby Keita, and no word on all the other injured players on when they will be back. And I think this is astonishing that Jurgen Klopp actually admitted that he was wrong. And of course the situation changed because of so many injuries, and actually it's a blessing that Liverpool got this many injuries this early in the season, because imagine if the transfer window slams shut, we have just 1 or 2 injuries, and then we get a whole host of midfield injuries in September. Then Liverpool wouldn't be able to do anything about it. And according to the Liverpool Echo newspaper, Liverpool are preparing a bid for Frankie de Jong, and Liverpool are joining the race, which is of course alongside Manchester United and Chelsea, and a £60 million move would be enough to prize Frankie de Jong away. De Jong never wanted to join Manchester United, in my opinion. It's just not the right club, not the right project for him, and according to a report in Al Nassr, Liverpool are preparing a bid to sign Frankie de Jong, and I think Liverpool have enough money to sign a blockbuster name. It's just that Bellingham wasn't available, so that's why in the end we didn't sign anybody else. But Frankie de Jong also would be a brilliant profile of a player, and Barcelona would be open to letting de Jong leave the club should a suitable offer to arrive, because they are still in financial difficulty, and that's why they were always listening to Frankie de Jong offers. And Frankie de Jong is on ludicrous wages, so he will probably have to lower his wage demands. He's on €500,000 per week, but I think if he lowers that to like €250,000 a week or €300,000 a week, that's like £220,000 per week, then Liverpool could do business. And Frankie de Jong is just 25 years old, so he is the perfect age when it comes to that, and his market value is around €60 million, which is around 54 million pounds. His contract expires in 2026, so that's a big problem that Barcelona are in no rush really to sell him, but I think with the financial difficulty that Barcelona are having, I think Frankie de Jong would be a brilliant transfer. And what is really crucial is Frankie de Jong has a very good injury record, so he would be almost always available. Last season he played 47 games, scoring 4 goals and getting 5 assists as well, which is pretty impressive. And he can play in the defensive midfield role and as a center midfielder. Sometimes even he played as a right midfielder, I think that was one time. And Jurgen Klopp said that if Liverpool sign a midfielder, he needs to be either a defensive midfielder who can play as a box-to-box midfielder or a box-to-box midfielder who can play defensive midfield. And I think Frankie de Jong would be really an awesome player for Liverpool. He would fit the profile. He comes from the Ajax style of play, and already, as you can see, he played a lot of games for Barcelona. He's very reliable, hardly ever gets injured, and he likes to have the ball and play possession football. He's a versatile player who can play defensive midfielder, center midfielder, holding, defensive box-to-box, regista, and even a centre back. And he has been loaded for his combination of defensive stability and playmaking ability, which is really a really good mix. And I think Frankie de Jong would be a long-term the Thiago replacement. Thiago is really injury prone. He never played around more than 25 league games for Liverpool in his career, and he's now also out injured. And Frankie de Jong could fill that gap that Liverpool have in midfield, because Liverpool have on paper a good enough midfield, but half of the players are injury prone, and half of them are out injured at the moment, and the other half are either too old or too young, so nothing in between. The players who are in between are all injury prone. Naby Keita, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Frankie de Jong could be that perfect solution to Liverpool's midfield problem. And I've been watching a lot of Barcelona games. My girlfriend is a huge Barcelona fan, so I've been watching Barcelona every week. And Frankie de Jong has always impressed me with his close control and dribbling ability. He's very press resistant. If he gets pressed, then he can dribble his way out of trouble, and he can also distribute the ball. Liverpool's current fit midfielders are not press resistant. Jordan Henderson and James Milner, they constantly lost the ball when they were pressed by Man United, who are not even the best, nowhere near the best pressing team in the Premier League. And he also loves these long crossfield passes and also creating space, absorbing, attacking pressure. His close control, accuracy, work rate and movement has drawn comparisons with Andres Iniesta and Johan Cruyff. I think it's a little bit premature to label him that because he's not as good, but many people said that he has Barcelona DNA. He was born to play for Barcelona. And The Guardian is also reporting that Liverpool are joining the race for Frankie de Jong. The decades-long Frankie de Jong saga has been a study in who might be the most ineptly run mega club in Europe, out of potential buyers, Manchester United and the sellers Barcelona. But Liverpool are now thinking of stealing in with a cheeky bid of their own for the Dutch midfielder. Football Total reports that Liverpool have slapped in a bid of £53 million plus 7 million in add-ons. That's 60 million in total, and this would free up Barcelona to pursue Man City's Bernardo Silva before the deadline day, even though Man City's chief executive Ferran Soriano says that Bernardo Silva is staying at Man City. Pep Guardiola also said Bernardo Silva is staying at Man City, but I think Barcelona could pursue other midfielder targets as well. And Liverpool.com is also reporting that Liverpool are preparing a £60 million bid for Frankie de Jong. Liverpool have to act very quickly, and we have been linked with Marcos Llorente of Atletico Madrid, according to Spanish outlet Fijases, but I don't know how to pronounce their name. I'm not sure how reliable they are. Frankie de Jong would be, I think, a steal if it was around £60 million. I think he's worth a little bit more, but at this late stage of the transfer window, I'm not sure how willing and ready Barcelona are to do some business. And the Evening Standard dropped a 4-man shortlist on who Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp are interested in, and I think Liverpool have somebody lined up. If it wasn't, then Jurgen Klopp wouldn't come out and say that we are working on signing a midfielder. I think Liverpool already have been working on a transfer behind the scenes. Jude Bellingham, of course, is one, but Dortmund don't want to sell right now. But we will talk about him in another video, because Naby Keita could be offered to sweeten the deal, and then maybe Dortmund would accept the January transfer. Nico Barella, I don't think he would want to leave Italy and Inter Milan, but he's one of Europe's best midfielders. Moises Caicedo, I might make another video on him if the links persist, but at the moment I think Brighton would ask ridiculous amounts of money for him. And Frankie de Jong, we are talking about him in this video, so these are the 4 main targets for Liverpool. And Robbie Savage, who wasn't really a world-class midfielder, but he has warned Liverpool not to get too far behind in the title race. On the back of that performance, when United were there for the taking, what has happened to Jurgen Klopp's heavy metal football, I have to ask? Where is that ruthless streak, that insatiable desire to win the ball back high up the pitch, the relentless press which leaves opponents camped in their own half? The problem was the midfield. Milner and Jordan Henderson sometimes ended up as the furthest guy forward. Sometimes they ended up as a number 9, in the number 9 position, in the striker position, when they should have just sat back and let Harvey Elliott and the forward players do their job. And I think either Milner or Henderson, if Henderson was playing in the number 6, and he should have been told by Jurgen Klopp, just sit in front of the back 4 and spray passes from there. And only Milner can go forward sometimes, but not all the time. The problem was with Trent Alexander-Arnold being so far off the pitch, Henderson, Harvey Elliott, Milner, they all vacated the midfield sometimes. That's why Bobby Firmino sometimes played as a defensive midfielder in attack, which was absolutely ludicrous. And Man United had the easiest task of just putting balls in behind and in behind our backline and in behind our midfield, and it was so easy just running at the 2 or 3 defenders that Liverpool had back. Robbie Savage said, Jurgen Klopp insists that they have all bases covered in midfield. Liverpool looked short of that X-factor in that department until Carvalho came on. With Thiago injured, Fabio on the bench, Liverpool looked short of a killer pass and creative force who could break Man United's lines. There has been talk over the summer of Jude Bellingham moving to Anfield. I don't think it can happen in this window, but unless Liverpool break the shackles of their early season lethargy, he can't come to Merseyside soon enough. This could prove to be a season where Liverpool are in transition just months after they missed out on the Champions League and the Premier League title, and teams in transition get left behind, and that's so true. I don't want Liverpool to be in transition. I want Liverpool to sign a midfielder who can come into the starting lineup straight away and who can help Liverpool right now, because this Liverpool team is still good enough to challenge for trophies. We just need, I think, that one midfielder like Frankie de Jong, somebody like that with quality, who can really plug the gap, plug the big gaping hole in midfield. And Steve Nicol is confident that Liverpool will progress in the Champions League, but the Rangers and Ajax games will be really, really tough. And the fixtures have been revealed, and we are playing Napoli away. And we haven't won in Naples in 3 attempts. We have 0 goals scored. Once I think we played 0-0, and the other times we lost 1-0 and 2-0. So starting away at Napoli is the hardest possible start. And also in the beginning of September we might not have many of our injured players back. So Liverpool could easily lose their first game in the Champions League. But then we have 2 home games against Ajax and Rangers. We have to win those. And then we play Rangers away, Ajax away and Napoli at home. So the last 3 games are really, really tough. And this group is really tough. So Liverpool need to strengthen, need to get their act together. If we don't sign a midfielder, I think Liverpool will have a really, really tough season. And Steve Nicol said that I'm going to assume by the time Liverpool will play Rangers, Liverpool will have at least some players back, and we have sorted out the problems we have seen so far in the first 3 Premier League games. If the game was tomorrow, I would be a little apprehensive, but it's not. Rangers are not at the level of the other 3. I would question Ajax as well. They are going to get rid of another player in Anthony. I don't think they will be at the level that they were last season. If it leaves Liverpool and Napoli have started on fire, scoring loads of goals. Liverpool the opposite, But thankfully the game is not tomorrow. Hopefully Liverpool can sort their problems out by the time we play Napoli. And that's the game, that's the thing that Liverpool need to do. I think we will work hard in the transfer market to sign a midfielder, and I really hope that you guys found this video informative and enjoyable. I work really hard to make my content even better for you guys. Hope you appreciate it. Thanks for watching, have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.